Session 53, LIII, the Ivory Lord of Calland. The next morning finds the virtues scanning the docks of Calland for signs that someone might know the deceased Nar Scarborough. We find a ship named the Scar Prow that seems promising, and Bryn manages to book their passage with the captain, Yuri. The captain is dubious about the virtues, but accepts their coin and agrees to take them, warning that the passage is dangerous and that she's the only one willing to go. Not that we did any market research whatsoever or talk to anyone else.
I know. But you know.
But you know, now we're just imagining like we just completely missed in the montage. There's like a little tour that goes out, like some little poodle boat that like looks at puffins or something, and we just completely missed the banner.
It's a 3-hour tour.
Sure. Arrangements made, the virtues spend the rest of the day making the long trip to the top of Rythie's peak. They encounter a small white kobold, whom they get to lead them to Rythie. Near the peak, they are told to wait in I don't think we ever got to the peak. I think this was at the base. I think we like walked around the forest to get to the base, and then the kobolds jumped out the wood and they took us like to some rocks, and basically went into the mountain rather than going up it.
Entered at the base.
I will continue to read on. Near the peak, they are told to wait, and eventually they will be joined by a massive white dragon, wingspan of nearly a mile. Upon his back is a small Teothan woman with red hair, and circling above are his children Bane and Feared. Fired?
Feared.
It is Feared. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay. That's what I said first. Wraithy himself is dubious about about our arrival until we tell them of Strathmorn and his possible return. Almost immediately, he agrees to meet with Nahasira and Kitanarai. The direness of the situation even has Wraithy agreeing to find the Dark North Wind and warning him of the danger. He asks that if the virtues find the remains of his mother Raithan on Gormanthan, to burn them. Wraithy gives Makud a giant harpoon meant for slaying dragons. Possibly not feasible to use without some sort of ballista to fire it, but it should be useful. Wraithy aids them in returning to Callan quickly. Guards, wide-eyed but seemingly used to the sight of the massive dragon. Wraithy bids them farewell and flies away, and the virtues turn towards the docks to begin the second part of their journey.
Wonderfully read and written. You can both have an inspiration.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, that's nice.
Now, Bridgina and Madar are also ill, but that didn't really sound like a good endpoint to the recap. But that is a thing.
Yeah. Also, I think his kids went with us to the city and then flew on with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went as a clan.
Yeah.
Squad up. Yeah, so we will like skip ahead a few hours to the Scarprow driving through the waves. The water here is like very dark and the sky's pretty overcast, and it seems like the world is gearing up to smash the tiny ships. It sort of skates across the water, but Yuri looks in her element, like standing strong.
Can I take 10 minutes to cast water breathing on everybody?
You can.
How
long does it last for?
I think quite a while. It's like 8 hours, no concentration.
Damn, son.
Water breathing, 24 hours. No concentration.
How many people can you do it to?
Up to 10.
Yeah, so I'll get the whole crew.
And the 4 kobolds that snuck along?
Sure. They're there, and I can see them within 30 feet.
Unfortunately, they're not. As regretful as that is.
Visible.
Yeah. There's one barrel of brandy that's sort of shaking drunkenly.
I'll spend the rest of the time just comforting Biscuit and feeding him grubs.
I like it. So, yeah, the sort of see these like white kind of breakers like smashing over, and like water just spatters the deck every so often. But you see, yeah, Yuri just like standing at the aft of the ship, like one hand on the tiller, like one hand kind of on the
Tails,
yes,
guide
the
ropes,
guide rope.
lines,
I don't know
whatever they call them.
sailing words. Yeah, but she's like controlling the ship beautifully, and you know, doesn't seem to be lacking in any confidence over your survival. But as you continue on, the storm grows and grows. Rain begins lashing down. Again, something very strange and alien for the Ashari locals among you. And she'll like call over the waves. If you can control the weather, now would be a good time.
I can give it my best shot.
They're speaking in Callan, right?
Yeah.
I'll assume Bryn knows what she's doing.
I'm gonna like wiggle my fingers and mutter some mumbo jumbo and kind of like do like a little bit of a almost kind of like magic coming out of my fingers and kind of like fizzling and sparking. It's not working quite the way that this is a powerful storm.
Make an Arcana check.
17?
Yeah, nothing happens.
Could I try to determine whether the storm is itself magical or if this is a natural phenomenon?
You can try to determine that, and I will say you may make nature or arcana.
I shall roll Arcana. 18 on the die. Plus 13 is 31.
It's not a magical storm, but it's maybe not entirely natural. You think
supernatural maybe, but not like this is somebody's.
It might be less of a sort of. You think it's maybe slightly amplified by, the surroundings. Like you think, it's not like there's a magic storm, but the storm is a bit bigger than you'd expect.
Like there's sort of ambient magic in this part of the world, and it's amplifying the natural phenomena.
Quite.
Such as a very large dragon released the sea.
Or several.
Abrashmina, because she is very, very ill and not feeling well, and this weather is making it even worse. She's going to try to do divine intervention to make the storm go away.
Oh, shit.
So she's just going to clutch her holy symbol and try to pray the rain away.
Can you be given advantage or guidance on this or anything?
No.
No,
It's a D100 roll.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a D100. Oh, that was so low. But not low enough. It was a 29.
Oh,
Okay.
that's rough.
You look up, and there's a parting in the clouds, and you see shifting starlight above. And though the storm does not abate, you know that you're on the right path, and that he who watches, his gaze is on you in this moment.
She takes comfort in that and then hurls over the side.
Nice.
It's watching you at this, your worst hour.
She's like standing over a dragon, finally slayed it. It's like he who watches is on Netflix.
Sorry, what? my meaner alert just went off. Did something happen?
But yeah, that's what I try to do, is try to make it look like I'm trying to control the weather, but just not quite good enough.
Make a performance check.
Although It was a 19. Maybe she was all right. Nah, I said she threw up. I forgot my modifier. Oh well, she threw up.
Yeah.
How does a 34 sound?
For what?
Performance checks.
Wow.
You're really convincing. You're doing like the whole like Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Yeah. Like,
So I can almost hear the music swelling.
You've convinced magic itself that you cast the spell correctly. The effect takes effect. But yeah, you see like Yuri sort of scowl, but she seems as though she maybe expected this and is able to gain control. Though you do see like some of the supplies go over the side that weren't tied down as well as they should have been. But after what feels like hours, the storm abates and you find the ship mercifully come into harbour. Yuri sort of like looking extremely tired and the ship very bruised, like there's some railings that have been smashed apart and stuff. The island in front of you is quite large. The center of it is defined by this large pine forest, and all around that forest is this sort of black shale, like stone beaches, and you see like there's sort of, you know, when you look at a road on a hot day and you see that sort of heat wave, you can see that sort of above the center of the island, the sort of gaseous heat escape.
mean like a natural volcano or something else?
It's below the level of the trees, so it's not like you can't see a volcano. You know, it's pretty flat, but something like that. And after like a few seconds, you see like a huge geyser go off in the middle, and like steam just or like steaming seawater just go blasting into the air and fall down over the trees. And it's got this sort of like primordial ancient feel to it, and the sky above is still kind of dark even though the storm is gone. And
How long were we traveling for?
It took a few hours, probably like most of a day.
Yeah, this would be evening now because we
Yeah,
went
so-
to Right Peak and then straight to the boat and
So
then
it's
straight
probably
here.
it's probably like dawn. Right
Okay.
about now.
Did we get a long rest in during that storm or no?
Way.
Okay. I didn't think so, but
Not knowing whether she understands me, I'll just say to Yuri, very well piloted. I suspect we owe you our lives.
I expect you do. She replies, kind of gives you a grin.
Well, we shall try to be about our business quickly, so as not to delay you any further.
Hey, be careful. The creatures around here are a bit strange.
Anything in particular to look out for in your experience?
Everything.
Appropriately vague, thank you. We are not without defense.
She grins.
You all right,
again.
Mina? Looks over to Mina and walk over and hand her a hanky.
I am glad that is over.
You did quite well for your first time upon the sea. And you, Brave McCoot. Quite well.
I am grateful that we did not do this the long way and had to sail a ship all the way here.
fun.
Not for everyone. Declan will disembark and begin to sort of like scout the horizon.
Yeah, so you like crunch, crunch, crunch up onto the beach. See like the looking down, you see like several kind of bits of seaweed and stuff, and like the remains of some shellfish and crustaceans and that sort of thing. Give me a cheeky little perception check there.
Can anyone or just Declan?
Just Declan because he's on the beach.
I rolled double twos because I have advantage, but didn't help me much. But those average out to 10s, or 23.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Rogues, man.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You look down and you see what looks like a lobster claw, roughly the size of your torso.
Like coming up at me, or like
No, just dead. Like when you find bits of shellfish.
Shed.
Yeah.
I think we may have something large for you to slay, Makud.
Hood kind of gets out of the boat, probably the entire thing shifting. I imagine he's been sitting as still in the middle as he can, probably arms out, grabbing both sides, just to like act as not as little as ballast as possible, kind of thing. And as he gets out, the whole ship probably tips. I would quite enjoy that roundabout now.
Can I make some kind of check to see if I know anything about what kind of creature this might be, or how it might approach, or whether it would be
Yeah.
or whatever?
Well, at least checking, just Makud in the background is like, does it always rain this much?
This spot
Yeah.
And he kind of like shakes and goes, and water goes everywhere.
Yeah, make it a disadvantage though, please.
Sure. Oh, what kind of check?
Nature.
That's a 2 again, but that becomes an 18.
You think it's maybe something to do with the climactic battle that happened here. There's plenty of dragon blood, and dragon blood is known to have many weird effects and stuff. So
Mutated by dragon blood, but like the natural form of some kind of creature, might it be that might burrow up at us, or like would it be living on rocks?
It doesn't. It probably lives in the ocean, as far as you can guess.
Ocean. Okay.
But
Didn't we read somewhere, or we were told somewhere about giant animals on this island? I feel like that I have that knowledge. I don't know where from.
No, how Siri told us.
Okay. Cool.
indeedy. Well, you all.
Shall we?
Yes, you all crunch up onto the beach. Where are you heading? Are you gonna do a sort of circumference first, or are you gonna head straight for the center? What's the plan here?
Well, we're looking for the bones of Rythi's mother, and we're looking for a plant, right?
Yes.
And the plant is widespread, or it's in a specific place?
You've just been told that it's on this island.
Okay.
I would imagine if we've had to come all this way, it probably grows where the dragons have fallen. If the blood does this, and he'll like kick at one of the claws or something, it probably makes the plant as well.
Well, let's find some dead dragons. How big, do we know how big the circumference of the island is? Like how long it would take us to walk around it?
From what you've seen, it's not massive. Probably 20 miles or so. So like a day to walk around.
Well, the cautious way is the long way. We could go around the entire circumference. Imagine whatever dangers there are deeper within, or we could head straight towards the heat signature over there.
I could do an augury
By all means.
or a communion.
This being a binary choice, an augury might be sufficient.
Yes. And yeah, so she'll, Ambrosmina will find a clear bit of beach
Mm-hmm.
to sit on. Kind of like roll out like one of like her veils or whatever to put the cards down so they don't get lost in the sand, and spend the 10 minutes to cast augury.
Okay.
All the while she is thinking, if we head for the center, will we find what we desire? So that is the wheel or woe or both.
Wheel.
And after getting like a, we'll say, an Empress card, she'll be all like, yes, I believe that we will find what we need if we head to the center.
And that's away.
I think we were going to say the same thing.
In the 10 minutes Makood kicking around on this beach, is there like a particularly large part of like a dead tree or something he could maybe use to shield them from superheated water shooting into the air and raining down on them?
I like that idea. So yes.
So no.
In the forest, it won't be as much good, just because it'll be harder to maneuver. But yeah,
I imagine
Maneuver.
it's going to open up at some point though, and then we need umbrellas
Yeah.
effectively.
For sure. Very well. So you head off towards the center of the island, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that sounds like the plan we had agreed upon.
All right. So you begin moving through the woods, and those of you who've been in like pine forest before, it seems pretty normal at first glance, but the more you look, the more you see like strange plant formations that you haven't seen before, and the trees seem much bigger than they have any right to be. And there's like little blue plants that give off these like glowing blue motes of light, and you hear sort of strange squeaking, groaning sounds like all around, as though there's a huge amount of different weird kind of creatures all around you, but kind of difficult to see.
Could I take some cuttings of some plants that look odd or mutated in some way?
Absolutely.
I'll do that.
Sure, give me a quick survival check.
You betcha. Ooh, this is actually not one I'm proficient in. That's okay, because it's 21.
Yeah, you're able to get a cutting of some of the blue plants and these some of these like big sort of reddish vines.
Cuttings of blue plants and red vines. Yep.
Right. So you journey on for some time before something big moves up ahead. One of those things where you can just sort of sense that there's something up ahead that isn't right.
Can we see anything at this juncture, or is it just
Nothing within
movement?
visual range currently.
But like undergrowth is shaking,
Sorry.
or like trees moving size.
Not quite that big, but you can hear like loud kind of stomping footsteps, and this sort of guttural, like, thumping sound, like very rhythmic, like tapping fingers on a desk.
I'm gonna say to Brent, how far can you speak to my mind? How far away?
About 30 feet, as long as I can see you.
Far. All right, fine. I'm just gonna send Biscuit up.
Okay. So Biscuit scurries forward, and he comes across a particularly large pine tree stripped of all its needles, and looking up it, it's got this sort of strange, like, black casing around it, sort of segmented, and it takes you a moment to realize what you're looking at, but it appears to be that there is a gigantic, like 30-40 foot long centipede wrapped around the tree.
I'm gonna bam Biscuit back before it notices, and then say there is a very large bug, gigantic, like talking 30, 40 feet long. You said?
Yeah.
Okay, at least 30 or 40 feet long. It will certainly try to eat us if we go closer. I mean, that may be ideal for some of you, but I'm going to hide. I do.
I mean, this is kind of the way that we are going.
Declan is scurrying.
You didn't say how far ahead it was either. So.
Yeah, he would inform you how exactly.
What's everyone else doing?
I was waiting for the others to scarper or scurry away or do something, and then I guess I was going to make a very loud noise. I'll wait for the others.
I don't know what to do.
Try to get somewhere quiet and hide, maybe?
I mean, if it is that big, it's unlikely we're going to outrun it.
This is very true. Abrashmina will walk over to Makud and give him a big pat on the shoulder and say, "You got this," and cast Holy Weapon.
Holy weapon.
Burning that 5th level slot.
Cha.
Yes. Is that
One
just on the one weapon? Yeah.
Yes, it will be on.
Mooty's is
Yeah.
his primary.
Yeah, your primary one. That is an.
You double swinging hammers now? That...
Yeah, I got that bracer, the wrist guard of Cragdoul from the Bell Witch, which is an attunement item as of in of itself, but it allows me to dual wield, one hand a two-handed weapon effectively. So then I can dual wield Vrek the Dwarven Hammer, the throwing weapon in the other hand. So it's all offense, baby. At the minute. At some point, I'm probably going to have to change out, but not today.
That is an extra 2d8 for you, sir.
Oof. Okay.
Big oof.
And also, it glows.
You can Nova it too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I can Nova it. He cannot.
Okay. So Makud sees the familiar weapon glow. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like giants, mind flayers. The giant.
I think so, yes.
worm creature, something like that. He sees it. He looks to you and goes, "Thank you, Mina. Now, stay safe."
She'll be you're like, it is safe behind you, Makud. She's going to step behind you.
Smart.
Bryn, want to do anything?
No, I think I'm just trying to get a little, like, someplace where I can kind of like hide a little bit. That's.
You can certainly try.
Yes, I'm super stoked.
I rolled a 35 on my stealth. Oh, a natural 20.
That stealth roll then, sir?
Yes, please.
26.
26. You are hidden.
Yes.
So Makud kind of like bristles, flexes a little bit, like limbering up after all that cramped journey on the ship, I guess. Hammers in each hand, and he just sort of like deep breath, and then just roars towards the beetle thing, the bug. I know it's not in visual range, but he's like directing it there.
Is it
Yeah, like-
within 100 and... I'm sorry, is it within 240 feet
Yeah,
of
it's
Declan?
about 50 feet away.
Okay, Declan will fire off a crossbow shot at it.
You would have to get closer to see it, though.
It's not in
'Cause
visual range.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I'll hold
Yes,
my
it
action.
is,
Close to
cool.
visual range.
For sure. You see Eli and Madar preparing as well.
He's.
And
Oh,
sorry,
how do
I
save
just
it?
I
Okay.
wanted to say, like Makud roars, and you hear like birds like scattering all over the woods.
Do they sound huge?
There are
Right.
some big old birds.
Big old bird.
Big old birds.
Anybody ever seen Land of the Lost? Old show?
I did not.
Yeah, it was an American TV show, but yeah, family gets lost in land of giant animals and dinosaurs. It feels like. Land of the Lost!
Rings a bell.
Which Land Before Time?
Yeah, and the rest of the forest seems to go still. And then you hear the sort of thunk, 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 thunk of hundreds of legs moving vaguely in your direction.
Have a preparatory action before he gets here, kind of thing, or
Sure, buddy.
I think I might go with the heroism this time and save the charms for anything worse. So that roar is basically going to be like the heroism, circle of heroism
I like it.
triggering. So
For when giant centipedes are the least of your problems.
and that can be to Mina and Madar and Eli if they haven't gone. I think it's for 4 people, and Bryn and Declan are already hiding. So
Yeah. Madar and Eli will graciously accept.
What are they doing to prepare?
That is a good question. I was just looking at this. I was very tempted to use this one, but I'm not. I'm going to use a cool thing. Eli kind of like holds out his arms in a very like fantasy art. I'm doing a big spell pose. And you see there's like this sort of coil of genie-like smoke that sort of twists around him and then up above him in sort of breaks off into 7 like kind of floating orbs that solidify into these motes of starlight, and he opens his eyes and you see his eyes are like burning white. He's gonna use his like magical secret thingy to cast Crown of Stars.
it's a good one.
Tis a fucking good one. Madar, does a squat. Trying to remember what her. Yep. Nope. She has nothing special except punches and whatnot. She just got a new thing, and I can't.
What kind of monk is she?
She's a punch monk.
Way of the fist?
Open hand.
Oh, okay. She could always climb up a tree by looking at it funny and hiding up there.
Nah, she's gonna wait to see if giant centipede counts as a missile.
Just launches itself at it.
If you straighten out and hurl it like a bow. From a bow. Yeah. Alright. So she is just gonna ready an action to punch centipedes when centipedes become close enough.
Is she level 11? Or are they like
13.
our level?
I've just been leveling them with you guys.
She
so
has a tranquility thing, so
She
she can
does.
like meditate and get the sanctuary spell, which is badass.
At the end of a long rest, yeah.
Yeah, so she would. At the end of a long rest, I suppose she couldn't have done it on the boat, but she
No.
could do it at other moments,
Mhm.
and have sanctuary.
Yeah, it's bull.
It's
I don't
ball,
know what. Bull.
singular.
I wasn't sure if I was going to go with ball in or baller, and I couldn't decide which was correct until it came out of my mouth. Okay, I'll take some initiative, please, just to help me
Oh boy!
herd this group of super friends.
Um, 20.
Ooh.
Oh, what? 16, 21.
18 for Abrashmina.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love having advantage on initiative. I went from a 7 to an 18, plus 3 for 21.
Hooray for 15.
Who's going first out of Declan and McCood?
I'm guessing Declan has a higher dex than me.
I mean,
And
you
also,
guys can decide between yourselves if you know.
He probably would shoot as well, so.
I mean, I think we're both holding an action. So, if I have initiative before I get to use my action, I can do. Yeah, haste doesn't really help me in the situation if I'm doing ranged.
Also, consider this is only the first threat we've found.
Yeah,
it may
exactly.
not be the last. So.
Or fun stuff. Yeah, I'm still hold my action.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Is it visible yet, or is it just the thunking of the legs?
It's not quite visible yet, but
Okay.
we're in that sort of slow motion, like it's about to
Mhm.
burst forth from the undergrowth type.
Yeah, the cool moment.
Yeah, boy.
I guess if I can scurry up a tree a little bit, I'll do that.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. Is that your turn then? Just to get up the tree and hold your action?
And if I can preserve my stealth, then yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah, you can. Makood?
Makood is going to, I guess, like Thor hammer toss Varak, just like slowly waiting for this thing to come bursting out and then for him to throw it at it.
You can make an attack with disadvantage if you like. Although, sorry, I should have given Declan that option as well, which you can have if you want.
Attack at disadvantage for what?
Because it's within range, but it's like behind trees, so you can't really see it.
Cover essentially.
Yeah.
Because I ignore cover.
Oh yeah, fuck it, you can shoot it.
Okay.
But it can't. It also can't be. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Can't be seen.
Yeah, that was
So
what
you're,
the
like, making a blind
disadvantage
attack effectively. Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Oh, so it has total cover, essentially.
I mean,
Or there's nothing to see. So
The cover won't stop the bolt, but I
Yeah.
think you can disadvantage
That's
shoot
exactly
at a very large monster behind the bushes. So
well, I want to do a sharpshooter shot, so I'll wait till I can actually see.
okay, sounds good.
sure.
Makes sense.
I will wait because I like the tension of this thing ready to come out.
Average Mina.
It is not visible yet?
It is not.
Okay, how far away is it?
It's
50-ish.
well, it's a bit close now. It's about 40 now, and like
Okay.
about to come into view. At which point it will be about 30 feet away.
I shall. Just looking at my spells. Sorry.
No problem.
Son of a bitch. Um,
Language.
I am going to ready an action to cast Blight once it is visible.
Oof. Madar. Is that your turn? Sorry.
Yes,
I think
I'm
yes.
going to stay next to Makud.
Cool. Madar is going to kind of hunker down beside Makud, ready to action. Bryn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ready an action for when it gets in range.
Sounds good. Eli is going to draw his dope sword. It sort of has this like oil on water look along the blade, which is curved because obviously it is. So it's got that sort of cool like multicolored shimmer, and he's going to ready in action to sling attacks and whatnot, and then the centipede goes.
Yay.
And it just walks past and leaves you all to your business. Sorry, I actually said that wrong. I meant to say, and then the centipedes go.
Oh boy!
The reveal of the century. You see, just crashing through the trees straight in front of you. 3 gigantic, like black.
Also, I raged. I'm just gonna say that now.
Sure, buddy. They're sort of like look like they're made of metal almost. This carapace. You see the eyes like these big sort of infinite black orbs just reflecting the light back at you. And these huge like wicked looking mandibles, the size of like a great sword, just snapping as the legs just thunk 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 thunk, and you see like dirt and moss like go flying up with every step of their like knife like feet. Open their like huge jaws wide as they thunder towards you. Right, ready to actions all go off. I'm going to do this in initiative order. So Declan.
High roll was a 15 with a plus 6 because I'm doing sharpshooter. So 21 to hit.
A 21 just hits.
Aha. Tough carapace, huh?
Such a tough carapace.
Okay, it's a sneak attack with sharpshooter damage. So let me just roll that real quick.
Oh shit. Do these things count as giant? Because they are literally giant.
Like giants. Is that what you mean?
Yes, from Varuk the Cave Shaker.
Oh.
It technically does 2d8 extra damage versus giant. But I just...
Yeah.
I mean,
these are giant.
No.
But...
They...
It's going to be 50 points of damage.
Oof.
Do you want the left one, the middle one, or the right one?
Whatever one is closest to Makud.
That would be the middle one. Dan, I'm going to say afraid not. Although you did tempt me with the silliness. So...
it doesn't matter, I actually miss with the hammer, but...
Oh no.
He readies and then he throws, and I rolled quite poorly, so...
So it just like clangs off the head of this thing and you see it like its head kind of like recoils slightly, and the hammer like boing smash like into a massive pine tree that kind of keels over and then flies back to your hand.
It has a plus 14 to hit, and I still missed. But it's not his strength, I guess. He probably got slightly, surprised as multiple of them came out or something, and the hammer kind of is off, like you said.
Yeah.
Um,
Alrighty. Abrishmina.
Make me a Constitution saving throw. The one. Are they all heading towards Makud?
The middle one is heading for Makud. The one on the right is heading towards where Madar and Eli are, and the one on the left is sort of trying to decide what it wants to do, but looks to be going for either you or Makud.
I'm going to go for that one. It's a Constitution saving throw.
Okie doke.
Oh, I should probably get out my d8s. That would be a good
Dirty
idea.
20.
That is a save. Barely. Because my DC is 19. This is only... I don't have enough d8s out. Maybe? Ooh. Oh, I'm one short. I should have planned this better. Sorry.
No props.
reroll one of them.
No, I will. Just give me a second. That is...
Well, knowing you, I thought you might go rummage around looking for another D8. You'll be bag of those. So.
That is 26... 27. Half of 27.
27 to the one on the left.
Half of 27.
Half of.
Because
It did pass. Half of 27 to the one on the left.
it's not a plant creature, is it?
No. It's a
Okay.
centipede. I don't know how much further I need to stress this. It's,
And we have some
it's a
giant
fucking
plants
centipede.
to fight next.
Okay,
Is
but
it-
does it count as a dragon centipede?
Isn't it a mammal?
No, it's a centipede.
It's a rare mammalian centipede.
I just had to get that out there. I have this mammalian Snyder thing.
A platypus can be a mammal, and a giant centipede in a magical universe can be a mammal.
Fine, fuck it. It's a fucking mammal.
Yes. This is one thing that
He
Madar,
happens to have a rapier mammal slang.
I do.
these things are a super good, like, tech against a monk. It's like bringing a monk to a giant centipede fight.
Madar has a readied action.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that, because I'm about
Sure.
to take his.
Take it.
I'm just trying to remember how many. Yeah, she gets 2 attacks. Or 3 attacks. If she doesn't flurry. She probably shouldn't flurry.
She can't flurry as this is a held
Oh.
action. So she doesn't get her bonus action.
You're right. You're right.
Technically, she
That
should
one's a
only have-
miss. That one's a hit. And that one's a natural 20.
Ooh, very nice.
So the first one, she does max damage as well, 13, and she's going for the one on the right, going for her and Eli. And then you see as she punches it, there's like the carapace kind of cracks with the force of her like magical punch. You see this black liquid like shoot out and burn her hand, and she takes 9 necrotic.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then the crit, 5, 13, 20 damage. And she takes another 7, 10 necrotic. Okay, and that's going to be her go. Next up is Bryn.
All right. So, and there's one in range of my held action or whatever.
Very much so.
All right. So that is, and I have advantage, correct? I'm hidden.
Yep.
That's a Kraken to hit, and then a 24 to hit.
Which one are you going for?
Let's go for the one that's attacking Madonna.
Okay.
Is this
We'll go
you slashy slashy?
Slashy.
Yeah. So she just Bryn kind of comes diving out of a bush, sword first.
As you do. Okay, the non-crit is it's a 14.
Damage.
Bryn in the park, hiding behind bushes, jumping out with swords.
That's how you do it, man.
Was that 14 damage? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
So
That's not how maths works, Rob. Don't just.
You better not be adding all willy-nilly.
I added 10 damage onto your attack. For that one, you take 9 necrotic damage.
Yes. And the crit is not worth it. It is 12 points of damage as I rolled absolute garbage.
You take 14 necrotic.
Oh boy.
I rolled 2 6s and 3d6 there.
Could I remind you to knock 6 damage off Madar because of the heroism? You get the 6 refreshable temporary hit points every turn.
Thank you, Dan.
No problem.
I just gave Eli 6 extra hit points. I've
That's
made
not
my
what
decision.
I said.
Is that your go, Bryn?
Indeed it is.
Good effort, is all I can really say.
I also just went back and read. I'm not bothered about getting an extra throw, but I did go back and read the Dwarven Thrower, and it returns after every attack. So I could have got a second attack
Take
there.
an extra attack.
Okay. That's a hit. Dwarven Thrower. Dwarven Thrower. 10 plus 16 damage as a second hit strikes into them. Into probably the center one that was going for me.
Yeah, 16 you said, sorry.
16, yeah.
Nice. Okay. Eli's turn. Oh, not turn. Ready to action. He is going to lunge for the one attacking him and Madar, and swing with his sword. That's gonna be a hit. Just. Sorry, I'm lost. How much damage is it? Oh, D8. Minimum damage for 4. But because he used the Sword of the Parons, Makud, you can use your reaction to make a weapon attack.
Oh, sweet. So as this centipede has not yet got to attack me yet, but has got within range of me, I guess.
Yeah.
The lava hammer. Egmoody's maul. Will smash down. Sorry?
Are we at the top of the initiative again?
Not yet.
No, this is Eli
Eli's
using his
turn.
super sword that gives other people attacks.
Oh.
He just has never used before, but he's had
Yeah.
it the entire time. That was an 18 on the dice, plus 12 for many. Does fire damage make any difference? Or shall I give it to you all together?
Oh, yeah, it does. He's immune to fire.
Oh boy, okay, won't even roll the d8s at all. Flamey maul.
This monster's sick.
Don't forget your extra radiant.
I did,
Oh,
but I
Eli
have not
takes
now.
9 necrotic. -6.
Oh yeah, they're gonna burn me.
Reduced to.
Yeah.
Oh
I
wait,
said
no, you don't
minus
reduce
6.
necro. You don't reduce necro.
But he does have the
Yeah, he has
heroism on
temporary
him.
hit points.
That takes
That's
it down by
fine.
6. Yeah. So that is. I didn't say Great Weapon Master or anything like that. So that's actually 16, and then add the Radiant. We'll take it to 24.
Oh, that makes my maths very easy. Thank you.
No problem.
You take 8 necrotic. So you guys watch as Eli takes this sword and like kind of jams it into a gap in the armor. It's a bit of spray back of the sort of necrotic blood, and you see just like this sort of shifting, twisting, like it's almost like smoke, but it's kind of translucent, and it just like flies towards Makud, and Makud just sort of seems to breathe it in, and it invigorates him to take one extra smash. Extra smash, and now we're at the top of initiative. So Declan.
So this one will not be a sharpshooter shot because I wasn't able to hide at the end of the last round. And I won't be able to hide at the end of this round. So just a straight rolled one attacking Makud for a 25.
25 hits, yeah.
Yay!
I'm going to say you didn't actually attack with the centipedes after all that. We did all of our held actions.
Yeah, my bad. I was like, I need to remember to attack the centipedes. Sorry, hold that thought. In fact, you can take this guy, Dylan, just because you're on a roll.
Uh, 36 points of damage, and then I will just hide, and that'll be the end of my turn.
Was that 36 total for the turn? Or
Correct.
did you have one before that? Okay.
What do you mean?
Sorry, yeah, I got you.
Okay.
Yeah, centipede time. That's the one. Thank you.
25 stealth, by the way.
Sure. You see... Yes, 3 centipedes leap forward. 2 are going to be on Makud. 1 is going to be on odds for Madar, evens for Eli. Odds for Madar. So, Makud. That's a natural 1. And a terrible roll for a dirty 20.
That does hit.
Okay. You take damn, that's a really good roll. I lost count. That's not like me doing a bit. I actually lost count. I'm an idiot. 43 piercing damage.
Oof.
And 6 necrotic damage. And you are grappled. And restrained.
And restrained.
And restrained, yeah.
Ooh.
It just noshes down. And the one going for Madar, that's a 26 to hit, which does. She takes 10, 20, 29, 27, 32, 32 piercing, and 11, 12, 13 bludgeoning.
Oofa doofa.
Have a necro, you mean, not bludgeoning.
Yes, that. She's looking real bad.
After that one bite for 30,
Yeah.
for like 43 damage. Okay.
Yeah, she's not looking swell after, because that's why I said like monks. She's taking 3d6 for each of her attacks, and she has a lot of those.
Yeah.
This is
These things are bad.
bad news for her. But she can heal 39 hit points all on her own, so she'll be fine.
I had that experience with Morgoth beating up salamanders. It's painful.
Yeah. And then it's now top of the round. Declan took his go, did a bunch of damage. Makut's go.
Right. Guys, on me, I'm restrained. That puts me at
Yeah.
disadvantage to attack.
DC 17.
To break free.
Yeah. And yeah.
I mean, I can do that, but I can't do anything. Or I could just try fight through. How bad does this thing look after 2 sneak attacks and my damage?
So there's 2. Yeah. One looks pretty. The one like biting you is definitely the worst damage, but it doesn't look too bad. There's a couple holes in its carapace, but yeah, it's going to take a lot more to fell these foul beasts.
I think I'm just going to try and hit it right now. I think I might use the reckless, because if they're already hitting me pretty hard, try even the odds from the restraint. I presume the one that's restraining me can all it can do is bite down. So
yeah,
I am gonna. Let's do reckless great weapon master. He has 1 arm. Free at least to smash these guys. I think Moot is more.
It is still
Oh, no.
holy.
It is still holy. So that was straight rolls. That was 18 and 11, both of those plus 14. So the minimum one is 25.
Yeah, hits.
To hit, no fire damage, holy weapon damage. So the first one is 19 or 32.
32.
And then, do you want to do the necro roll for him?
Yeah. 13.
Ooh, okay.
Oof.
13 necro back. That's actually reduced by 6 down to 7.
Indeedy.
So that puts him at 130. Okay. Oh, I said great weapon master.
You did, so extra
did.
10.
So what is their AC? The lowest hit would have been 20.
That is just a hit.
Just a hit. Okay, so that would have been an extra 10. So that would have been actually 42, I think, damage from the first one.
Not a problem. Add it on.
And then I did 20, 30.
That's a lot of damage.
With the second one, I think. Great Weapon Master. Or did I already add that on? Sorry. How else would I have got 32? I think it might have just been 32 and 30, potentially. I can't really remember the roll that I made.
We'll take off 5 then.
Okay. I'm just going to say it was 32 and then 30.
The one holding you that you've just been smashing into is now looking a little rougher, a little bloodied. You take some more coronavirus blood for the second hit now. 12 necrotic.
That is 412 for 100. 18. Okay.
Is that your go, friend?
I believe so. I don't think I have any. I have like a ton of actions. I don't believe I have that many bonus actions. I was just actually reading my items and the tiny blading of poisonation, the little earring thing he has. We didn't actually say what it took to use that, whether it was an action or a bonus action. I also think they probably mean to poison in this combat, but I just thought we could clarify that at some point.
Yeah. Did we not?
It's the thing that for once a day for a minute he can get
Yeah.
1d4 poison on attacks. Does
Yeah,
it take an
bonus
action to
action.
activate
I
bonus
think
action? Cool.
action, yeah.
Fair enough. I think that's it.
Okay. Mina.
Brashmina is going to, whenever she blighted the other one, did it appear to take? Did it appear to resist the necrotic damage?
Yes.
It did. Okay, that changes what I am going to do.
I'm sorry, that actually is 42 and 40.
Okay.
So if you had those back on, I have a lot of modifiers.
Not a problem, buddy.
Um,
I have all the numbers easily changeable.
Cool. Thank you.
No worries.
Yes, since it resisted the necrotic damage, I am not going to do what I was going to do. And instead, I am just going to use my bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon. And Ramiel appears next to the thing's face and is going to hit with a 28, I assume.
He is.
Nope. For 7 points of force damage.
Which one was this on, sorry?
The one that's attacking Makud. And then, for her action, she's going to pop out her wings. Oh, shoot, I should have done that first, because then I would have gotten an extra damage on the...
Doi.
On the, spiritual weapon. Oh well, I didn't say it. She's out of sorts.
Apparently so.
Yes. That is her go. She's going to remain there, though. Not backing off from it.
Okay.
While it has Makud.
Okie dokie. Mdar's go. She does not have much health left. Additionally, is being grappled.
Ooh.
Thusly.
As a monk, can she not remove herself from a grapple?
That
Or
is
is
what
that-
I'm looking at. She can understand lots of different languages.
Am I misremembering that?
There's something I think that.
They definitely can cure themselves of
Mind control.
fears and stuff like that. Yeah, various conditions. The grapple condition might be one of them, but I'm not sure.
I think it's stillness of mind.
Effect that
Yeah,
is a
that's-
charmed or
that's
frighten.
the Charmed or frighten thing. Yeah.
Okay.
There's not much she can do now. She could either heal or try and stunning strike this thing.
Disadvantage.
Yeah. And she'd take damage. So she's gonna heal. So she sort of focuses her energy for a moment, and you see like her wounds just sort of heal up with this sort of white glow that begins to surround her. Hey, I just remembered why monks are cool. She can flurry of blows and then stunning strike. Yeah.
She can, but I think can you only flurry when you make an attack action.
Oh,
not
you're
a
right,
heal
right,
action.
right. I'm trying to find it.
Yep, you have to make your martial art offhand to flurry of blows, so you can't just flurry of blows.
Okay.
You have
Well,
to.
then she will not just flurry of blows. Yeah,
But she heals herself.
but she does heal herself.
Probably more important.
Brynhild.
Attack. The lowest one is a 19,
Misses.
and then a 27.
Hits.
14 points of damage.
You take 9 necrotic.
Alright, and then I need a wisdom save as I cast Dissonant Whispers at level 4.
14.
That is a fail. Uh, 23 points of damage, of psychic damage.
Psychic.
Yep, and it has to try to get away from me.
Okay. It will do that.
Is that the one with Madar?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it running away with Madar?
Yeah.
Yes, my plan was foiled.
Okay.
It is nomming her still. But yeah, we'll turn back towards the undergrowth from whence it came.
I know you have.
Be with my girlfriend.
I know you have a lot to do with the robe, but when you flurry of blows with the open hand, they get extra effects. They could choose either to try and knock someone prone or to push them 15 feet away, or they can't take reactions at the end of their turn. So every time you flurry blows, they have to make tests because you are very good at punching people.
I see that now. Thank
So
you for letting me know.
it may be that if she struck someone to knock them 50 feet away, they might let go and, fly back.
And then it would count as a missile.
Because I don't think it actually has size restrictions on that either, because it's not like a grapple. You just punch him real hard.
Yeah. So, Eli.
Punch him so hard you Bruce Lee him across the room. Woo-ha!
Eli is going to use his bonus action to send one of his 7 stars from his crown at the dude, and that's a 21 to hit, which hits. So he does 4d12 radiant. 6, 9, come on, Eli, sort your shit out. That's a bit better. 18, that's a lot better. 30 radiant on the one that has Madar.
That is a very cool crown that he has.
Yeah, it's a spell.
See, the
casts.
player... Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
He casts Crown of Stars.
I gotcha. That is very cool.
It's a cool spell. And then he is going to run after... Did the centipede have to use its movement?
Yes.
Oh, there would have been opportunity attacks then, correct? Or is it because it's forced movement? No. Yeah.
No, it's opportunity attack movements. That's what makes Dissonant Whispers dope.
Yeah. Okay, so then Eli and Bryn get opportunity attacks.
It's a crit.
Eli misses. Oh, that's a crit. Give me
Yeah,
that
so
shit.
it used its reaction to move
To
as far
run
away
away,
as it
gotcha.
can. And because it isn't forced movement, like you're not pushing
Yeah.
them, it's choosing to do that effectively. I
That's
think
why
that's
it's
what...
better than Thunder Wave
Yeah, attacked.
to get dudes away.
20 points of damage.
20 points.
And Eli, it missed, hit?
Missed.
Eli missed. Eli missed. He rolled a 5 plus 10. Or plus 5 even.
+5.
Yeah. I don't know why D&D Beyond's saying that, because I disagree, but...
Yeah, it should be his proficient. Is it
Your
a
proficiency should be +5 right now, so if you have any dex, it should be higher than 5.
Yeah.
+5.
Is it it's a longsword though, so it's based off his strength.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I
But he's
tried...
a pact of the blade, so any blade weapon he should be proficient
Yeah,
with.
he is
Oh,
proficient
yeah.
with it.
Oh.
It should be If it's not a +1, it should be at
It is
least
a +1,
10.
so it should be 6.
Or no, it should be
No.
Minus
11.
yeah. So it should, no, it is, yeah, it's right. He has -1 strength.
You might have
+5
to tell it that
+1.
it's a packed weapon.
No, there's a thing. He is proficient with it, but he's got -1 strength. I meant to fiddle with it to make it a
Right.
dex weapon, but I forgot to.
Oh, if
'Cause
Okay.
it's a longsword currently, so it's using his strength. So I'll fiddle with that in the interim.
Isn't there a thing that makes it so you can hit with charisma, or is that only hexblade?
It's just
it's hex
hexblade,
plague.
Yeah.
That's just hexblade. Okay.
which is dumb. It should be all pack of the blade.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I would retroactively do that because Pact of the
That's-
Blade is objectively one of the worst.
Yeah.
Long
That's-
leash, but
Somewhat.
Hexblade is
Okay.
basically a retcon of like Pact of the Blade.
Mhm.
They didn't actually just do like a retcon.
Well, either way, he is going to run after it. Can he catch it in one round?
if it
Yes.
moves at least 40 and he moves 30, then
It moves 30, and he
Oh,
moves
does it?
30. So
Okay.
he can chase it. And he will smack it again.
He's already gone.
No, that was his.
opportunity,
attack.
and then you used a bit bonus action to use the moat.
Yeah.
So
And then he
He
gets
can
I
his
see, I
action.
see.
This is his action.
I see, I
Uh,
see, I see, I see, I
And
see.
he crit.
Oh boy.
8 damage on a crit.
I feel
10 damage on a crit. 10 damage on a crit. My apologies. But Makood.
Why do we bring these guys along?
I honestly quite like the idea he's running around with. It's a really cool sword, but he's no
it's
good
so
at using
fucking
it.
heavy.
It's very him, I think.
But it does give Makood an extra attack.
Yeah.
So take that attack now.
On the one that Makood's attacking. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
It's basically like the command thing from the
Order.
Battle Master.
domain.
yeah.
Also, you said
The order domain also gets it.
yes. Rob, did you? No, nothing.
Sorry.
Yeah. I was gonna say something.
Something. Not that
wasn't.
important.
No, it wasn't.
Okay. 24. No, it's okay. No, the order domain also gets it. Oh, that could have been slightly better on the rolls. Oh no, that's a 7 rather than a 1. That's a bit better. So that's 20 again plus the 10 for modify, so it's the 30 hit because it's not the Great Weapon Master, which makes my hits, in the 40 region of damage with this holy weapon. So 30 damage.
30 damage. It's looking real rough. But I mean, if you think about it, he did 40 damage with his attack on that turn. Because,
Because he has a Makood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he did 40-12.
Yeah.
So,
That
basically,
kind of spells a super good warlock spell.
he's fucking goddamn.
Now they go.
Centipedes. Okay, first. Everyone knows centipedes don't spit.
Do they?
No, they don't. So they're gonna swallow. Makood. Does a 27 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. You will see Makood become ingested.
So I think you have advantage because I'm restrained or whatever, but yes,
yeah.
he's ingested.
We'll see if it crits. No crit. Makood.
Also, because I reckless, you had advantage, but yeah,
Yes.
you don't get to roll again.
Damn it.
Swallow attack hit ingested.
20, 29, 33 piercing.
Jesus.
That's a real good roll on the necrotic. 16 necrotic damage. And you are
Okay.
inside.
You also didn't do the necro for when I just out of turn striked from Eli, so
You're
I need
correct.
more necro.
12.
12.
And you are
Okay.
inside the centipede.
This means the other centipede that was bullying me and not hitting anything is now free.
Yeah, it's gonna
which is what I'm
swallow
concerned.
its own centipede. The other centipede. Centipedeception.
So that's another 12 damage for 6, and then that's another 32 damage. 4, 70. So he's now on 74 health. So
Boom.
past halfway.
You guys really struggle with long enemies, I find.
The secret bane.
The snakes,
Physic-
the centipedes.
Big bad evil guy is gonna be a Rakshasa long boy cat.
Yeah. 20. Oh, guys, Madame may die. 28 to hit her. 10, 20, 25 piercing. And
Shame it's necrotic damage and not poison damage, because she'd be immune to poison at this level.
would 10 necrotic. But they're not called poison centipedes.
So take that down by
Oh yeah.
6
Plus
from
4,
the
yeah.
heroism.
Oh, plus 6, yeah.
Oh no, she already used that when she was punching them. No, she didn't punch anybody.
No,
So yes,
she
take
is-
some of take
yeah.
that down by 6 damage.
Done. And then
Which
last
reminded me,
centipede.
I had my reaction thing to reduce damage, but now I'm
You
swallowed.
use your reaction to punch.
It cost
to
me my
utilize them.
reaction.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You may use your reaction. They may use their reaction. One goes for Mina, 24 to hit.
That will hit. Yeah, it would still hit even if I shielded. So yeah, hits.
This is a good roll.
I need the necrotic separately, please.
Yeah. 37 piercing,
Oof. Okay.
10 necrotic.
Reduced to 5.
Also, you take 6 from that because you have the heroism.
Yes. I had that on there.
Ooh.
Oof.
You are grappled
I am. Okay.
and restrained. And that's the go of the centipedes.
What do you say, Brim? We just let them carry them off, and then you and I just kind of leave.
No.
Is this the one? Is this the one that swallowed Makud?
No.
No, this is the other one that was fighting me, but no, I'm
Okay.
not there. I can fight
see.
you.
And back to the top, Declan.
So which of the 3 centipedes has the most? It looks the most wounded.
The one that is swollen and like bulging and like you can see between the plates because it's full of a makud looks really rough.
You can see like hammer prints being made on the inside, like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Yeah.
And the horns
And
and
the
stuff.
horns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take a sharpshooter shot at that one. Try to miss Makud, but make a nice little hole for him to step out through.
Just an air hole.
I wish I critted on a 19. No such luck though.
Miss
Let's
Remy.
say 25 to hit.
25 hits.
Hello?
Hello.
He's doing his math.
He
Oh.
mutes because he's throwing.
Everything went very quiet.
He muted because he's throwing about 50 d6 or something down a dice tower. So very courteous.
Yes.
40. How much?
8.
40.
Oh.
Also, is the echo bothering you at all today, Rob?
Not really. I can sometimes hear it if everyone else is quiet, but not enough to be a problem. You did 1 more damage than it had hit points remaining. So
Free Makud!
you like it kind of rears up and does this sort of like roar kind of thing, and you just fire down. It does that like classic Disney like sort of thing where it like freezes, and then just as your bolt like pierces it and it drops and like collapses forward, and Maku just rolls out of it covered in slime.
Like Drax in the beginning of
Yeah,
Guardians of the
exactly.
Galaxy 2. It's like, I did it!
Yeah.
Big Drax energy. McCool thinks he did it. But
Yeah.
I'll get my bonus action to hide. For a 34.
34. Okay. You are hidden. Makud, you just killed one of these centipedes.
yeah,
On your own.
feeling great. Absolutely. Serves you
Oh my
right for
God,
swallowing something
Mina.
with horns, and he just like kicks it in the face.
I eat centipede. Centipede does not eat Makud.
I'm guessing the centipede is larger than large, so I can't grapple this thing away from
It is
Minar.
huge.
Okay. So he will use his movement to get up / move over to the centipede. They were basically next to each other anyway, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
The one attacking Minar.
Mm-hmm.
Mina.
Minar.
Oh, no, Makud's coming.
And oh no, my goat's coming. I have some distance, so he's going to throw the hammer as the bonus action, but he's using the main attack to smash it with Igmutis Maul multiple times.
Sure.
So hammer is he's running in. Hammer is a 13 plus 14 for many,
27 hits.
and that is 15 damage.
15. This one's not looking bad at all.
Okay. He's going to attempt to change that as he runs up to roughly where its head is and then repeatedly smashes it with Igmutis Maul. He is going to, with a plus 12, the lowest one is 21, the highest one is 28. So
Both hit.
hit. 16, 21. I didn't say Great Weapon Master, which was a mistake, but oh well. That's 21, 31. And another Igmutis Maul smashing into the top side of the carapace
No, Jesus.
for 25. So we're not so generous.
You just did like 70 damage, my dude.
Sure. But I rolled relatively low and didn't do Great Weapon Master, so I could have topped 100
You could have.
if I was being smart.
That's not bad.
I probably would have missed that last one actually.
You'll
if
get
I'd
there
said
with
that, so-
Eli's help, I'm sure.
Sure. So while like Mina is being lifted up, I just imagine him repeatedly smashing the hammer into the top of the centipede's head.
Yeah. It's like squashing you, Mina, and you feel it begin to sort of slacken off. It's your go, though.
That is good to know. How is it looking?
Not quite bloodied, but
Not quite bloodied.
damn near close now.
Oh, do I try to? No, I'm gonna do what I had planned to do. Ramiel is going to miss with a 12.
Woo!
And then Abrashmina is like glowing from having like her wings out, and for like a brief moment she goes supernova as she cries out in pain and casting Word of Radiance. So I need a Constitution saving throw from the beast.
Oh, that's not a very good roll.
10.
10.
Mm-hmm.
That is a failure, I am afraid. So it is going to take 66 plus
66.
no 3d6 plus 2d10 for 10, 26 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
Plus 13 for, so 39 radiant damage.
It is now bloodied.
Because yeah, the radiant soul gives me an extra 13 damage on top of everything else.
It looks about 1 hit point better off than the other one, if you were guessing. Right. The Madar situation. She's had better days. She's certainly had worse days. She is going...
Try slip out the thing.
Yeah, does she try and escape, or does she just do like 6 punches and probably die? She probably tries to escape, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
because
if you
then
do
she could.
if you do the flurry of blows, you might be able to knock it off her.
Yeah, I mean, she has plus
And
10
stun.
to acrobatics though, so
Yeah,
she's
like
got a
she
good
could
chance
get
to escape.
away, and she could then step of the wind and bonus action dodge
Disengage.
to make sure she and disengage and then make sure she doesn't get.
Yeah. Okay, she's gonna do that. She has a, so she has to roll an 8 or a 7 or higher on the d20 here. Ooh, 7. So
Is that bad?
no,
or she does
that's the minimum.
Oh boy.
So yeah, you see like it squeeze her and you see her kind of reach down. She's very calm, like pushes the mandible slightly and then just like slips out of a gap that is no wider than Makood's bicep. And she like lands, rolls, and like it kind of swings in for another bite, and she anticipates that and sort of like does the sort of movie star dive forward into another roll, and dodges and like turns around breathing heavily, like sort of down on one knee, like fist on the floor, superhero kind of pose as she's like getting ready to steel herself to dive back into the fight. Bryn.
So I'm gonna run up to the one that just released Madar.
Yeah.
Put myself between her and the fucking thing.
Doug.
And take 2 swings. Both 19s. With plus 12, so.
Both hit.
One's 15 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other is 12 damage. And then I need a
3 natural, so fail. Big
Oh,
fail
intelligence?
energy. Oh, intelligence is gonna be a 0.
Okay. As I cast Psychic Crush.
Ooh, that's a new one.
53 points of damage. And the creature is stunned for 1 minute.
Ooh, big moves from Bryn.
It looks very near death, regardless of the stun.
I don't care.
It's stunned because it fancies Bryn so much that it's so
like, oh
infatuated
damn,
from the psychic
this
crush.
monk's badass and her girlfriend.
Psychic crush.
Dawson's Creek theme starts playing.
I don't like what you just did.
I don't know how I feel about it either. I think we're on the same page.
Oh, senpai. Notice
Oh,
me.
okay. 2 more centipedes show up and drag the one away. Go to your centipede room. Right. Well, it's Eli's go now. He is going to walk up with... I fixed the modifiers on his sword. That's a hit.
Oh no, I've just thought centipie. Because the centipede.
Joke
Eli-
is hit or miss.
walks up and with a lazy flick of his wrist, just drives his sword down into the head of the centipede that had Madar and kills it, and points to Makud to follow suit on his own centipede, as the like kind of that intoxicating scent just like flies from the, or the intoxicating mist like flies from the sword into Makud's nostrils again, making
This
you
took
feel
an odd
strong and
turn.
powerful.
Now you're like drugging Makud with performance drugs.
It's fine.
Performance enhancing.
Yeah.
Very performance enhancing. He just crit. This thing is
Nice.
it's going
God.
down.
I'm yelling timber.
That is all of these dice. 38 damage. I didn't roll very well on the double dice.
And he fires another crown of stars at it. Does 36 damage.
Rolling pretty good on those star dice.
Yeah, fucking Christ.
Killing it.
Also, Makud needs necro dice for hitting his thing, and maybe Eli as well for
Yeah,
having
Eli
struck
does
that
as
creature
well.
dead.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And Bryn. Shit, I haven't been
Bryn,
super up
yeah.
on that. Give me a sec.
Also, in fairness, Abrashmina lost concentration on the holy weapon whenever she got numbed. I forgot to roll my concentration for that.
No probs. Okay, so
Oh.
Bryn, you made 2 attacks.
I did.
4 necrotic and 12 necrotic.
So 16 all up.
Yep. Eli,
That would have affected like the damage that Makud was outputting there, but I don't know.
It's fine.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Not a problem. I make plenty of mistakes, and if I was a dick about it, then I would be the biggest hypocrite in the world. Speaking of biggest in the world, Makud, 654 on that damage, so 15 necrotic for you, sir.
Actually, so I just rolled the crit again without the radiant damage, and just rolled 32 damage out of the 38 because I rolled almost max damage on the d6 anyway
Love it.
without the holy weapon. So he did 32 on the 38, so you gain 6 health. And sorry, you did like 12 to me.
Yeah.
I
12.
thought it was 15.
15, sorry.
15 necro. Sorry, it was 12 to Bryn.
Yeah, 12 to Bryn.
Eli took some damage.
Eli took... Oh, I can't remember what it is now. I can just see what his hit points are.
Just roll some
I think it was 9.
9. Necro.
Does that sound
Okay.
right? Yeah.
That's fine. It's within the range. If that was the first time they took damage, remember, he would
Oh, yeah.
reduce
you're
that
right.
by 6.
3 heal. Yeah. Why do I keep... I've said every number that he heals except 6. It's
I'm
like...
not sure you gave me the necro for like that entire turn. Like, so when Makud actually made his initial attack, so I need 2 more necro rolls.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Useless. 7 and 9.
Okay, so that's reduced. So that's 10 necro there, plus 15, another 25 necrotic. Oh, and then add another 6. The other thing. Cool.
Centipede turn. He's going for my boy Mackie D.
You only got 1 centipede left, and it has Mina in its.
Oh
maw.
yeah, sorry, I thought it dropped me now. Awesome.
Nope.
Does a... Shit, that's not very good. 17 hit?
Nope.
Fuck! It squeezes you. but-
Unless you
Oh,
say
it has advantage because she's
Oh, okay.
restrained in its jaws.
Thank you. That's 30.
So I love Mina a lot, but also you're restrained.
30.
Yeah, 19 plus 11 there.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
I
I
know.
guess.
Uh, 37 piercing.
Okay,
13 necrotic.
reduced to 6, which I will ignore entirely because of the heroism.
And
Yay.
you are engulfed.
Okay.
Declan's go.
Woohoo! Mina's getting swallowed.
She has been already.
I shoot the swallower. For a the sharpshooter, it's 24 to hit.
Hits.
Great. $51. Hi.
Ooh. Describe how you kill it.
Well, I have to give my wife a bag of chips. Here you go. Oh, well. Sorry.
Thank you.
Apparently my salt and pepper aren't good enough for her. Very dramatically, Declan is going to sort of like run to the end of the tree branch that he's on. And like while he's doing it, he's going to pop a bolt in and like just jump down. And as he's falling, just pop it off and have it hit the guy, hit the centipede through the eye and pop out the other side. And it flails and dies.
Beautiful. And Mina comes rolling out, covered in gunk. And you guys have defeated the centipedes. Do we want to take a quick 5 there?
Can do.
Alrighty.
Declan is always so clean, and you guys are always so covered in animal parts.
Makood's lost 111 health.
Oof.
Man, those are
Ow.
fun monsters. Very
Uh-huh.
simple.
Not bad.
They're from a book.
One very nasty attack a turn.
Yeah.
Oh.
I bumped up their hit points a little bit. I bumped up their AC a little bit. And then but they actually are supposed to be immune to necrotic, but I forgot that when you did blight and was like, okay. And then you said, are they resistant? I was like, oh, I'm not going to retroactively take away a whole attack, so.
They're immune to necro and fire?
And fire, yeah.
Man.
Necrotic centipedes.
And guess who decided to take a break from guiding bolt today?
Yeah.
It would have been the day for it.
Yeah. I was all like, I haven't inflicted wounds in such a long time. I'm feeling nostalgic. I'm going to prep inflict wounds instead.
Feeling nostalgic for inflict wounds. I
Yeah.
haven't inflicted a good wound in ages.
That was like her go-to at the beginning.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
that
grab
was-
me a drink.
They're fun little monsters. Would highly recommend.
Yeah,
What was
decent
the-
challenge.
Yeah, what was the challenge rating on them? I'm curious.
11.
Okay.
But they were a little beefy. So
Yeah, I mean, so
You beef them up a little.
pretty
Yeah, so-
solid challenge for us at our level.
yeah,
Three
so
of
they
them.
have 195 hit points, and I gave them 250, and 17 AC normally, and I gave them 20. So not a huge jump up. I mean, the AC is pretty big, but the hit points were not a massive amount. 55 I added on, so
And that's like one turn for like Makood or Declan.
yeah.
Yeah, and you almost chunked through the barbarian, and you
Yeah,
almost
I'm
killed the
pleased with
monk.
Yeah.
So
I'm pleased with how that fight went. But you guys, like any creature with the swallow engulf ability, I feel like the object is to make no one take damage from being inside. That's like if you can get through it with that, then you've won the encounter, which you guys managed to do. So
I think the only exception to that, like, long swallowing creatures as our kryptonite was the purple worm, because we did pretty well against the purple worm.
But that was described as a purple worm, but it looked like a dragon. It wasn't a long, thin.
Right.
So
The one that swallowed Makud and then got banished, and then he
Yeah.
popped out into the banishment plane,
That was
and everyone
like-
had gone.
that was like a dragon, but if you cut its head off and replaced its head with the head of a purple worm, is what that looked like. So that wasn't really a long and thin, which is, but if I just rules as written runner, described it the other way, you guys would be fucking in the ground. Turns out you're all just Indiana Joneses.
Long and thin. Why did it have to be long and thin?
That's the name of the session.
Hell?
And on that note, I'll be right back.
Okay, bye.
And we get some water.
I am back.
Welcome back. I didn't waste my 6th level spell at all.
No, you didn't. You saved Madar with it.
Yeah. I've been wanting to use that spell for a while.
It was dope. I was like, ooh, busting out the big guns.
It's like 12d6.
Nice.
That's when that ring is broken.
Yeah.
That was 2 attacks and a 6th level spell. And 1 round.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining.
I think those dice I just polished up are going to be Tanith's new dice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tanith, your war cleric?
Yes.
Yeah, that's from the Chex game forever ago, right?
Yeah, she's been pseudo recycled for one of Rob's mini campaigns that he does on Sundays.
Nice.
It's not the same Tanith, but it's a war cleric named Tanith.
Hey, more cleric. Yeah. I was gonna bring a barbarian.
No, wait, no, she's a life cleric now.
Were you gonna play Astrid again, Jade?
I was. Somebody else already claimed barbarian.
What's this?
Yep. That's why I play him on.
Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then because I was all like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna bring Tanith. And Jade was all like, ha ha ha, I might bring Astrid. We convinced Dan to bring Ava.
That rogue, right?
Yeah. But it's not them. Like they weren't like, I fought a dragon once.
Right.
It's just those
Yeah, they're low level.
their
Start at 1.
characters. Yeah.
About the only thing I remember from the game previous was some caravan investigation and then the football game that we played.
Yeah.
The goblins with their fireworks.
Actually finished that game, right?
No, he didn't.
Chex had to bail on it.
Yeah.
I don't think we were anywhere near an ending.
No. Not a good way, not even really.
Is this Horde of the Dragon Queen?
Yeah.
Yeah, my group with that ran 1 session. But
So, I mean,
turned
I
out
think that's the first time I played with most of you guys for some group.
turned
Yeah.
out I was the only person Chex liked in that whole group, and I don't really know why he agreed to run it. So, yeah, it went badly.
Did he end up running like 3 groups off that post?
He
I think
did,
it was
yeah.
4.
I thought it was 3 because it was A, B, and C, and we were like the only ones that even got to like the encampment to rescue Leoben.
He was planning on a 4th then, but then was like, no, fuck that.
Yeah.
There was definitely a 4th mentioned.
I remember there was like some chick that had like a really weird avatar that was gonna be in our thing, but like she was like arguing over like what class to play, and then it turned out she couldn't even play on the.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I was like, because I remember messaging Jade and being like, I don't know if I can handle her character in this game. She's already driving me nuts, and we haven't even started yet.
You love to see it.
And actually, Dylan, I think our first game together was a one-shot that Chex wrote or ran. That was the like post-apocalyptic, like demon thing.
Oh yes.
Where I was a monk. I was the monk named Silence. That I remained silent for maybe 5 minutes into the session, and then I was like, nope, this is hard. I can't do it. I'm gonna talk.
So the whole meme that Morgan made of me like face palming and losing my character's hand, that character didn't speak for 2 sessions out of the 3-session mini campaign. He's just silent, and then the best moment was one of the other characters turned me invisible with like a spell, and then they were like, I turn and there was something he needed to see me to say something or whatever, or he needed to know where I was, and Morgan was like, do you say something? And I was like, nope. And left because I'd gone 5 hours, and basically the whole thing was he had a stutter, so he didn't want to speak. But yeah, it was dope. So he lost his fucking hand, and then I got bullied online for a year straight.
Did it stop ever? Really?
Well, I don't speak to those guys as much anymore, so that's actually I do. I speak to them all the time, but they bully me less if I just don't say anything. If I say something in the group chat, it just starts immediately again. Or we get into the Saturday game and Chex just starts abusing me.
I think it was the first game that me and you played, Dylan.
The first time you and I played together was definitely the Dragon Queen.
Yes.
What was our first game, Dan?
I believe the first game was when you DM'd the giant monster with a city on its back. Which was real early stuff.
Yeah. That was second or third ever online session for me.
Really? Okay.
Wow.
Because I think Chex was in it, and that's why I joined.
Maybe it was a couple, but yeah.
Someone else. I'm not.
Robin or Toto?
I feel like a Robin. I don't think it was Toto, and I think there was like some randomer who played a sorcerer.
Yeah. Some randomer with a sorcerer.
Something like that.
Yeah. That was a good game.
That was a very, very long time ago.
Peritons and Hydras and Minotaurs. And
Galabdur.
Galabdur, yeah. That wasn't really a session as much as just an excuse for a bunch of combat.
Pretty much. There was Hydra initially, I think, and I was made invisible. And then I think we got to the villain. We kind of like killed him / kicked him over the edge.
Yeah. I think someone grappled him over the edge. That's
probably me. If it contains the word grapple, it's about 75% chance it was me doing it. So, because no one uses grapples,
except centipedes. Right. Well, you stand near a bunch of dead centipedes.
I harvest their organs.
I barbecue what's left.
You can... Getting a big Matt Berry vibe from you both there. You can certainly try. You might sting your fingers a bit.
Oh yeah, never mind. I guess I have like a full rubber bodysuit.
Yeah.
Never mind.
No worries. Very well. We're coming to one of the bits I've been most excited about for the last month, so I'm hyped.
And I've been excited about your bits for years.
Thanks, man.
Oh my.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Can Makood strip off the mandible part of it that is, at extending at the head side, so maybe less spray, but he'll take a spray.
Make a survival check.
Sure. Survival. 17.
Yeah, you can get it off without spray.
Cool. He will harvest just one set of mandibles. And by harvest, he means just wrench off.
You now have necrotic centipede mandibles.
Do we
With-
want to take her?
Some
I
of
was-
Mina's blood on them.
Going to suggest, and I think Bryn was as well, that we might rest. Some of you look a bit worse for wear.
I am fine.
Me too, Madar says. I actually am fine, Eli says.
And Brushmina gives him a dirty look. But while she still has her wings out, she is going to use 2 charges from the staff to heal herself and Madar. Some D8s, my friends. For herself, she's going to heal. Oh, and then I get the bonus healing from the mantle.
Bonus.
11, 20.
That's why
20
we're doing it.
Yes, 25 healing to myself. No, 31. I forgot about my modifier. And then Madar will heal.
Several.
10, 13, 25.
Plus your modifiers and everything?
No, I remembered it that time.
So yes.
Yes, 25 total.
Cool. 25.
Are we gonna roll some hit dice?
Are we taking a short rest?
Yes.
We may wish to move away from the carrion before scavengers come.
Yeah, giant vultures.
I know it is a necrotic beetle. Does it seem like it would make good eating? Or
It really doesn't.
okay.
Just
Smells
wait,
a
till
little
you,
like
just wait till you see the 6-foot turkey around the next corner, though.
Oh, baby.
Damn it.
I don't think we can put this on a stick, friend.
It's a very large stick.
Yes. Would need a very large stick. He still has the rod that he took from that guy, hanging off a belt or something.
Alright,
It's considered a
so-
rapier to anyone else. Yeah, so short rest.
11.
Oh,
I have to make up 111 hit points. I may be here a while.
I'm gonna do Song of Rest, so you get 1d10.
she
that will help.
recovers her key points as well.
Mm-hmm.
Song of Rest.
Gonna do a song of rest.
Disney-fied Song of Rest there.
Mm-hmm.
Singing a song, isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think that my rest is complete?
9.
If we're taking an hour, I guess I'll infuse something.
Okay. Madar is now only 1 hit point down. For the Liz.
Oh, natural 1. That sucks. Wasted enjoyments.
Boom. Bad luck there, man.
That happens.
Not to me, because I lie. Yeah. I hope you like didn't tap yourselves out and whatnot in that fight.
No.
No, not
well,
really. I might be tapped out of hit dice after this, but I've still got some stuff for the next fight.
Hit
Do
dice,
you
Schmidt,
need-
Schmeiss.
Do you need a little bit of a boost from the staff?
I mean, let me just count up. I've used 9 of the available 13 so far, and I don't think I'm very close. We'll see. Let
Let's
me just
see.
count up. 40, 50, 78.
Does anybody
Actually, I
want?
might be 88. Sorry?
Oh, I was gonna say, does anybody want some potions? I bought a bunch of extra ones.
Maybe in a pinch. We will see
Well, that's
where I
okay.
get
Have
to.
it on you for. So you can feed it to yourself easier than I can feed it to you.
I think I have a few. I've
You
done
know.
100 hit points exactly with the Song of Rest. The Song of
Uh,
Rest doesn't include a con save, right?
no,
No.
it's just a
I mean,
straight roll.
the con one. Yeah, I've managed to heal 100 after using 9 dice. Out of
Take
the 13.
another 29,
Then I'm
and I have
maxed.
used 3 charges from the staff. And how many charges does it have now a day? Because it went up whenever I got the extra spells.
You'll have to ask someone smarter than me.
I don't really
Okay.
know.
You
Sorry.
get 1 charge of each spell, of the new spells. So it's the same number of charges, and then you can cast heal once
Okay.
and something else once.
Oh, that's right. So it's 3 charges for lesser restoration and healing, and then 1 charge of greater restoration and 1 charge of heal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you
Cool.
got the heal and the greater rest I left.
Yes, that is all I have left.
That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have a supreme healing potion, a greater healing potion, and a normal healing potion on me, so I'm good right now.
What about
Dual
like
slash
Eli and Madar? Do they have any potions they can feed themselves?
They do not.
Okay, I will give each of them a superior and a greater. Sorry, 2 superior, 2 greater.
Each?
Jesus.
Jeez.
Never say I never did nothing for you, NPCs.
Nothing for you.
At least Eli has his spell slots back.
Yeah, he didn't use any.
No, for his crown he would have.
Nope.
No, you don't get those back.
That's a once per day.
That was one of his arcanums. It's a high level spell.
It's 7th
I
level.
see. I didn't know.
I've been messing around with Warlock builds a lot for next campaign, and I'm intimately familiar with the workings of the class now.
Okay.
I guess we don't run into any trouble in the hour that we rest in the giant forest.
You do not.
Okay.
Oh, sick. His crown lasts an hour. I mean, that, in this moment it's not super helpful, but...
Sure.
It's not bad if you only get 1 per day to have it there for like a while.
It's a very good warlock spell to get 6 or 7 attacks out of one thing, and
Unless for an hour.
it's not bad damage for a bonus action at all.
I mean, it can be really shitty
4d
damage.
12.
It can be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if you paired that with some broken Mina thing, like, that's mental. Alright, just adding the potions and whatnot. And then we can continue.
Just gonna remind you that we don't have rules for the dragon harpoon yet. Just in case there's any dragon liches in this clearing.
Dragon harpoons don't have rules then.
Okay. I will just tell you when I'm attacking with it.
I'll tell you when I'm attacking, and you tell me how many dragons die.
Bang, and the dragons are gone.
All of them.
Hi, I'm Barry Scott.
There we go.
Yes. Don't worry, Dan, I'm with you.
Good. I didn't know if that was before your time.
No, I know Barry.
Good.
He's still going. My
Oh, I
my
really
12-year-old
hope not.
brother can quote Barry Scott adverts.
Oh, that means that advert has been going on for too
Yep.
long.
It does. Just run it back. So you traipse through the forest after resting. Everyone feeling much better after the centipede encounter, and you begin to sort of climb. And there's a slight hill in the middle of the forest, and the trees begin to sort of thin, and you come to a clearing in the center with like this kind of rocky patch in the center. You see there's like a large gaping hole leading down straight into the center of the island, and like several geysers around it, like spurting up water every so often.
Sorry, I imagine like a bunch of old guys just being like, "Get off my lawn!"
I can never remember as a Brit which I'm supposed to say. You also see a figure standing beside one of the geysers, not looking at you, not seeming to have noticed. He stands about 8 feet tall and has huge frosty antlers, and is wrapped in this sort of like silken blue robe, like long pointed ears.
I'm going to use my Inquisitive Rogue feature, which allows me to detect the presence of shapeshifters.
Okay. Is
and
it?
things.
How does that work?
It allows you to sense if they're not in their true form, right?
Okay.
As an action, you sense the presence of illusions, shape changers not in their original form, and other magic designed to deceive the senses, provided you aren't blind or deafened.
Okay.
You sense an effect that is attempting to trick you, but gain no insight into what is hidden or its true nature.
Do you have to like be seeing the effect?
I have to be within 30 feet.
Okay, so you can sense like below your feet. There's a bunch of illusions and stuff going on.
Interesting, but the figure is not.
But
one of them?
the figure is as he appears.
Okay.
8 foot tall, antlers.
Antlers, blue silvery robe, like real beautiful, like sort of long white hair that goes down to his ankles. Like this very sort of androgynous, like perfect looking creature.
You said that there are a bunch of illusions going on below our feet. I have advantage to perceive those.
No, they're not like the ground, like underground. There are a bunch of illusions.
Okay. So I can't see them yet.
No.
Okay.
And like as you approach, the figure is kind of shaken from a reverie and turns to look at you all, and he looks sort of slightly surprised and begins to approach, and he sort of moves very gracefully, like the ground doesn't really stir beneath his feet, you know. It seems like you imagine if he was walking along grass, the grass wouldn't fold under his feet, you know. Very, very light.
He is walking though. His feet are touching the ground.
His feet are touching the ground.
Okay.
Does he seem to be divine in some way, or does he seem more like
Make a religion
a
check.
Bane and Feyre? Faded.
He has antlers, but his face is human.
Yeah. Humanoid.
I'm going to use my inspiration to change that 3 into nothing.
Okay.
That
Made it
is
disappear.
a 9 altogether.
It's
No,
not.
so a 12 altogether.
It's not a celestial.
Declan will say, "Forgive us for interrupting the peace of your vigil. We mean you no harm."
He sort of closes his eyes and bows his head in like a sort of your apology is noted and appreciated type way, and says, That is not a problem. I have been waiting some time for someone to come.
Well, come we have. We are called
mean-
the
Sorry, no, you go.
All right. We are called the Virtues, and I introduce us in a line. Go ahead, Makud.
Basically, Makud would follow up like, if you want to find someone, this is not really the place to stand.
I was not seeking anyone, he smiles, but I was hoping they would seek this place. My name is Devonian.
Do I recognize that name?
Nope.
No
Bryn
talent
might.
broke trails.
Bryn might. Give me
He's
a...
what?
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 Dan?
Sorry, what?
How do you spell his name?
Like Devon? And
No.
then Ian?
I will send in chats. I have to reopen the chat though, because obviously I close it during the game, because otherwise it'll show up on the recording. If I'm like pew pew pew, all the notifications. I hope I sent that to the right group.
Oh, Devonian. Okay.
Devonian, yeah.
I was going to say Devonian with an E is a very interesting period of time during Earth's
Yes,
geological
that's actually
formation
what
of
he's named
life.
after, but
Cool.
I changed one letter.
Fair enough.
What do you need a roll from?
I'll take history or arcana or nature.
Let's go with
Or religion.
history. That's a natural 20 for a total of
Ooh.
25.
You're like, you've never heard of this dude, but this is a winter fey prince for sure.
Okay.
That was very measured for Bryn. Okay.
This is the who? What?
A winter fey prince, for sure. But only to Bryn.
Anybody want to be an Archfey Warlock?
I
Yeah, this is the place to fucking do it.
Do it, Bryn. Do it.
don't think that's a good idea. I don't recognize your name specifically, but I've heard tales of your kind. Legends mostly.
I am sure they are greatly exaggerated. So, what are you doing here, then, in Gormanthan's heart?
I tell many tales, and I hear many tales, and I got it in my mind that I wanted to see this place. See
Is
if the
that
legends are
so?
true.
He doesn't seem to fully
Declan's trying to
believe
like figure out if we're duplicitous and looking a little uncomfortable. He's gonna put his mask on.
it. I must warn you, if you plan to go below, there is something terrible and ancient there.
You just don't tell me something like that and expect me not to act.
We understand that this place was the site of a great battle between powerful dragons,
It was.
and that the bones of these dragons may rest here as well.
That is true. Or so I am told. I cannot enter the heart myself.
Why not?
It is sealed against my kind, as well as those of draconic or demonic persuasion, to preserve what life there is left.
Devonian, why do you wait here? You say you have waited for some to come. if you will forgive my rudeness, what is your purpose and agenda with this?
There are things that crawl up, brought here by the ancient terror within, and sometimes they try to leave. There must be someone here to stop them whenever they do.
I would like to roll an insight check. 16 on the die for a 29.
Just about beat him there.
Haha.
He is telling the truth.
Okay. And I'm sure of that.
Yeah. You have never been more sure about something in your life.
Okay. And I sense no hidden agenda. He's not waiting for us to go in there so he can
is. Yeah. He is
do
like
some terror.
ephemeral. You're like, this guy. You know, he's not got any greedy motivations or anything. He is like, you know, it's like coming face to face with the opposite of a demon. You know, like someone just truly, like, lawful good aligned.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, then, sensing no need to hide from this person, can you explain what the illusions beneath our feet might be?
The thing beneath you, the terror. Oh, got another name I got to put in the goddamn chat. Is Macrawl the Liar, a great creature from the sea that came to this place not long after the battles ended. And this creature is a master of the arcane and illusions, and its mere presence has kept whispers and memories of the battles here alive. When you enter, I do not know what you will see, but it is dangerous.
We seek a plant. And I forget the name of the plant?
Wormthil.
Wormthil.
We seek the wormthil plant. Can it be found below us? In the domain of Macrawl?
It can. There is not much left. But what there is below.
Is it Macrawl or just Crawl?
I put it in the chat.
Macrawl.
M-A-apostrophe-crawl.
Like the dwarves?
No,
M-A apostrophe K-R-A-L-L.
the dwarves are Mikraal.
It seems Macrawlian,
Yeah.
whatever, seems very suspiciously similar, like this guy.
It's a coincidence, I guess.
Apparently.
It's my crawl versus me crawl.
Yeah, but
Sure.
a lot of times, that's how those things kind of develop.
Corruption over time. So now I'm very suspicious of all those dwarven civilizations.
Mm-hmm.
You
I mean,
just
there's
look
like
down at this bracer
like-
you've been wearing the whole time, and it's just a squid tentacle that you've shoved your hand into. It's just an
That would make
octopus on
sense.
the end of your hand. Just how?
Like, oh my god!
This creature then is our enemy. For a surety.
Assuredly, it is enemy of all that breathe and live.
If we were to go down and face it, is there any aid that you can give us?
Sort of hangs his head. There is little I can do. But I suppose if you are going, then you would do well to take this. And he holds out a hand, and you see like shimmering is this like sword that slowly begins to kind of materialize in his palm. It is very kind of like what's the word? There's a word that I'm trying to think of, but I can't. It's sort of this bluish, silvery color, and like very ornately designed. A stunning and intensely magical item.
What kind of sword?
It's a rapier. This one.
I'll rock paper scissors you for it, Bryn. Declan will take it, not to keep it forever, but to take it in thanks.
Okay.
I said it first. That's like calling dibs.
I mean, we'll
Although
see
you
what
should,
it
let her,
does
you, should
first.
let her, you should let her touch it, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Abrashmina will say, thank you.
Does this blade have a name?
It does. But I will wait for you to discover it yourself.
Dang it.
Very well.
And they wrote down a rapier named ... Fuck.
Theodore.
Remember here would be a rapier named Fuck.
Piece of shit.
You've done us a great service, Devonian. If we were to rest in your company, would you mind it?
No. You may rest.
I might suggest, and I'll turn to the group, that we take an evening to better prepare, knowing now what we do about what awaits us. I currently have one token of true seeing available. I could perhaps make one more in the morning. Additionally, if Abrashmina, you can prepare the spell, it might inoculate more of us against the illusions in that case.
What's basically...
I'm sure you can prepare it as a cleric, so I don't know if you have
Yes.
6 level spells yet.
Do not know if I have an ointment for the eyes made from mushroom powder, saffron, and fat, though.
Hmm.
It has a material component.
Of less than 25 gold or more?
25 gold.
So then your spell focus will suffice.
Oh, it will? Okay, I thought it was like if it has okay. Is it different if it says it's consumed by the spell?
Oh, if it's consumed, possibly.
Yeah.
Let's look it up.
Yes.
I think it's only if not, because otherwise it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But
All right. Bryn, are you touching the?
Here you go, Bryn, please touch this sword.
Bryn, can you roll me a d6, please?
If a cost is indicated for a component, the character must have that specific component before they can cast the spell.
mm-hmm.
Well, I can do at least one of us
Unless I can find some mushrooms and saffrons on this island.
Could be. Pardon me, Devonian, do you have any mushrooms and saffron? And just happen to. 25 gold piece worth.
Do you have that D6 for me, Jade? No.
Jade. Maybe you have to call her Brynhild. Brynhild.
I called her Bryn originally.
Give me the old shoulder.
Well then. Sword breaks. Fuck it.
No, what's going on?
He asked for a D6.
Yeah. Can you roll me
I'm-
D6?
I'm sorry, I had to deal with something.
No worries. Yeah, you're touching the sword. But
Oh, okay.
You haven't had your thing yet.
It's 6.
Oh fuck. Okay. Could
Oh, no.
all of you? This is good. No, this is good. This is like maybe too good. Could everyone give me a D100, please?
A D100. Okay.
No.
Oh God.
94.
Oh
Ooh.
boy.
You're in the Feywild, boy.
Oh
Something.
boy. Guys, I did this weapon. If it's broken, it's not my fault.
I got 81.
81.
We just rested.
9.
73?
Dan, can you re-roll yours, please, in a sec? 9. Okay. 73.
This sword is gonna be so fucking broken.
Oh, jeez.
973. What did you roll, Dylan?
94.
94.
I don't know if this is Andrew rules or not. But we've got both spectrums covered, so
What did Dan roll the first time?
84 or something. 83?
81 I thought, but
81? Something.
Yeah, 81. What did you roll
And you-
second time, Dan?
My second one is 4.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Dylan, what did you roll? 90 something?
94. 94.
94. Okay, I got that one. C, what did you roll?
9.
9, got that one. Jade, what did you roll?
73.
70. Yeah, that's the one I didn't have. Oh yes, I was working on that. Right. Okay.
There's
So,
Madar and Eli if you want to endanger them as well.
no, it's not about that. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's not
These
about that.
only.
Did you roll one yourself, Rob?
Yeah.
What did you roll just for?
No. Hold on. Sorry, this is really hard.
What's going on?
Just give me
I
a sec.
don't-
Just give me a sec. Just hold the phone. Jade, I need
Oh,
a
hold
D20 from you as well, please.
Okay.
I'm
14?
really confused.
Just stop talking because I'll get confused. 14.
Yes, sir.
That's kind of shit one. Okay, that's fine.
Oh
Right.
boy.
Okay, so we're there. I rolled 1. That's 5. We need 2 more. Who wants to roll 2 more D100s for me?
I will, because I rolled really low.
And someone else as well, please.
I'll roll one.
Oh, this one's a 95.
Oh. Oh no.
96.
Oh,
I swear to God.
97?
96.
95 and 96 are the same roll, so you
Can
can.
we roll?
Someone can, please.
Do you want to reroll? See?
Sure. This one is a 23.
Okay, we're good with that. Okay, so.
Are these like deck of many thing cards that we're pulling right now?
I know. This like, the more rolls, the better. This is good for you guys. So,
Rob is getting pretty giddy.
Is he like? Did we just summon something from like Lamentations of the
no.
Flame Princess and kept exploding on the mutations?
No. Okay, so this is a janked up moonblade.
Jankta?
Janked up, as in
Oh.
I've janked with it.
Sure,
make it-
okay.
So, for those of you who haven't met the moonblade before, You roll a d6 plus 1, and that's how many properties it gets from a really ridiculous d100 table. So you've got 7 properties on this Moonblade. So let me read you what properties. It's in D&D Beyond, Jade, so I can add it to Bryn's character sheet or whatever.
Okay.
So we can create a stat block for it, basically.
You
or
know,
if
Mina
Declan's
can
gonna take it.
Mina can use a rapier.
Let me tell you.
It's okay. I have a defender rapier and a rapier plus 1. You guys can have either one of those. I don't really care.
I'm kidding. I'm not proficient. I'm joking. I can only use simple weapons.
I don't really care.
Oh, we need to determine. Someone pick a creature type for me, such as dragon, fiend, or undead.
Dragon?
Done. Okay, so when you hit a dragon with the Moonblade, the target takes an extra 1d6 damage of either acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder, your choice at the time. It's probably not your choice at the time, but also your choice at the time.
Okay.
It also is a +3 weapon, because you rolled 3 that were below 40. It also whispers warnings to its bearer, giving you +2 bonus to initiative. It also the bearer suffers no harm in temperatures as cold as -20 degrees Fahrenheit, or as warm as 120 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, so
Yo.
here and a Shar, basically. No damage.
And finally, you can use a bonus action to cause the Moonblade to flash brightly. Each creature that can see you and is within 30 feet must succeed on a DC 15 con save or become blinded for 1 minute. A creature can repeat the saving throw each of his turns, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, that's dumb.
15? Did you say?
Yes.
Or?
DC 15, yeah. It's all in. Let me just. Come here, Brynhild.
And I had had the same magic sword since like the first session.
Yeah, and the Sword of Haunting. You can have it, Dylan.
Didn't we
I
get
mean-
the haunting from the thingy?
So we
Lion
could
dude.
also the sword is sentient. We could say the sword.
Right.
This sword is not sentient. That's why it's janked up. I'm afraid. I mean, you know, just looking at Bryn's character sheet, she does already have a legendary rapier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Give it to Dylan. Or Declan.
That's not. It's not 7 properties either, unless you're combining some of
Yeah,
them.
so the +3 is 3 properties.
Right.
If you roll below 40, that's one. That's plus
Good
1
grief.
up to +3.
Okay.
So you're welcome for those low rolls from me.
I rolled a 4.
Yeah.
Right. It's in your character sheet.
No,
so
give
you
it to
can-
Declan.
No, well, Declan's not on my D&D Beyond. It was just so that
Oh.
someone has it. So you guys.
I see.
know
I
it's
see. I
up.
see. I see. I see. I see. I see.
But
I see.
I can send a stat block of it to the thing.
I can also be like, here, I'm holding the new weapon, and be like, here, take this one.
I see.
Here I can
Good.
control weather.
So what were the temperatures on the climbs? 120 degree.
Yeah.
Fahrenheit?
To -20.
Is it -20 in Calland most of the time?
I don't know what temperature that is in normal
Ugh.
human temperature.
Oh, let me look it up.
Oh, I don't think I can look at that
minus-
block.
That's -28.
-28, yeah.
So basically -29.
Okay.
Like 120 is like hotter than like Las Vegas and Arizona.
Yeah, you'll be
So
fine.
definitely a Shar.
120 is 48. Oh, basically 49 degrees. So it's between 49 degrees and -29 degrees Celsius.
Basically, yeah. We'll say you're fine.
So I'm getting a 404 error when I try to click on the Moonblade.
Oh. Okay, no worries. can send a screenshot.
Basically, like deserts and Russia, you'll find it.
Here.
You might actually have to come into combat for once, Declan,
I
to
know,
hit someone with your sword.
Right.
And hide up a tree.
There. I'm not sure about all the weird stuff at the start. I'll have a look at it properly and update it. I just wanted to get the properties sorted. But yeah, you've got this item.
Fuck.
Given to you by a Winter Fey Prince or whatever.
Yeah.
Acquires attunement.
I will unattune from my ring of radiant resistance for that one. Once Bryn returns it.
Do I get any cool things when I?
Oh yeah, shit. That was the whole thing. Yeah. So you like your eyes flash, and you are in a very deep jungle, and you see a tree sort of stump that is being used as an anvil, and you see like one rune being kind of hammered into the sword, and then like you see a flash and you're in a different sort of darker forest, and you see someone else hammering a different rune, and you see this 7 more times, or not 7 more times, 7 times total, all in these dense, strange forests. And finally you look up and you see like the night sky above is not the same night sky that you see when you look up beneath. Everything is different and strange here. You know it to be the Feywild.
Bless you.
And then your vision returns.
Oh, sorry.
Bless you.
I'm sorry.
No worries.
You know, he's also allergic to the Moonblade. That's one of his
Apparently.
properties.
I'm kind
For
of
the
sad.
Feywild.
It's a sword. Not gonna lie.
Bryn come out of her vision.
Yes. And relays the information.
And as you're sort of explaining it, Devonian is like nodding along, like as though he remembers it.
Does she get the name?
Yes.
Is it the name that's on the stat block?
No, it's a different name.
Oh.
Yeah, okay,
Damn
it's
it.
that name.
Okay.
What name is that? Because I'm not looking at D&D Beyond.
AL apostrophe ATA.
Ah. Okay.
Al Ata. Al
The
Ata.
Moonblade.
It would have to be Al Ata because the apostrophe is before the Atas.
Yeah, Al-Ata. That's what I said.
Al Ata. Oh, it sounded like you said latte. As in, it's a latte. Latte.
Alata.
Alative.
Pumpkin spiced Alato.
You have given us a great boon. We promise to use Alata in the service of justice.
I know you will. And he like puts a hand on your shoulder, Declan. Kind of gives you a warm smile.
Do like a He-Man pose.
For the honor of Grayskull.
Makut is going to say to the Fey guy, you know where, like, there are dead dragons on the island? We're kind of looking for a dead dragon.
Below. In Gormanthan's heart. And he points to the opening.
Did it, like, swallow them or something?
I was not here when it happened. I cannot say for sure.
I thought they fought up there, and he like points into the sky. How did they end up under here?
I do not know, Makut, but I know that is
Does
where
he
the
know my
bodies.
name?
Why
Why did the giant say we? I'm not sure.
No,
Yeah,
no,
Declan
no,
introduced.
Declan introduced everybody
He
in a
said we
line.
are the virtues. But...
And
And
then
then he
he
said,
was
I
like, and I
introduced
introduced
everybody.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. He goes down the line, he said.
Grumble, grumble.
Grumble,
Grumble, grumble, grumble. The giant didn't say we. You were the giant all along.
And Devonian just says, I will await your return anxiously.
Just to be double clear, Rob, all the extra properties about needing special attunement rituals and Elven from you.
Yeah.
Disregard that.
One dat.
Okay. And is it completely non-sentient? It says it whispers to you, so is it just sort of like
That's
increased?
that's just a minor property that was given from Xanathar's, I think
Yeah.
it is. It gives you +2 to initiative.
Okay.
That can manifest as it whispering to you if you want, or it can be I'm more alert because I have this sword that's like crack, or
I mean, I like the idea of it being sort of maybe not like a personality, but like a quasi-sentient presence. You know,
Yeah, okay.
like its own awareness. I mean, it's up to you, but that's the flavor.
Maybe something of a connection to Devonian.
Yeah, there you go.
On your left. And then the portals open up.
You barrel.
Your other left. Very well. Do you descend into Gormanthan's heart?
I think we were going to try to rest.
That's not what I asked. I asked if you descend into.
No, we're gonna rest.
No, you got it wrong. You do descend into.
Nope. Don't railroad us,
Off you
DM.
go.
You're marching down into the third you
Without stealthing. And
Suddenly
paying
you
no
see,
heed
like,
to where you place your feet.
there are hundreds of centipedes rushing you. Do you go into this? Do you go into Gormanthan's heart?
Warning, there's no turning back after this point.
No, you just see auto-saving appear in the top left of your vision.
Do you face your destiny?
Yeah, we can rest. If you like resting.
Or it sounds
Long
like someone may
way.
want to attune to their new snore.
thingy, and I could do an extra infusion of Jersey.
In an hour?
Oh no, I figured we would like take a long rest that way, but you're not going to be changing out your spell slots, so maybe it's not worth it. I don't know. Does anyone else need True Seeing?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, we can long rest. I would actually prefer that because I could, like, prepare spells for
Yeah,
this
that's
endeavor, but I wasn't going to assume that we could
well. We've
long
got
rest here.
friends to watch out over us. That's what I was kind of asking. Like, hey, can we hang camp here for the night, and you'll watch our back, and
Yeah,
we can prepare ourselves to go down.
I would be all right with this if that is all right with everybody else.
Sure.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to mute while I do them because they will be loud.
Very well. Then we shall take a long rest.
And if anyone wants to ask Devonian anything else, feel free to.
Makuda's basically going to alternate between kicking around places, knocking down trees or over rocks or whatever as we stand outside this hole, and questioning Devonian for inane pieces of information, I guess. How long have you
It's
been
Moss
here?
Makud. What's that? It's Moss Makud. What about this? It's Moss Makud.
He drags out a 40-foot giant centipede.
It's Moss. Holy shit. if you ask him how long he's been here, he'll say he doesn't rightly know, but centuries.
And all you do is stand by this hole, kill whatever crawls out of it, and no one even knows you're here?
My family know I'm here.
They come visit you?
He shakes his head.
How often do things crawl out of the hole?
Every few years.
And can any one of them, like, doom the world or something?
He nods.
He looks at the hole. How big is the hole?
Like 30, 40 feet across.
Are they, like, that big?
No, usually smaller, but they are servants of Macroll, and anything that allows Macroll's influence to grow jeopardizes life as we know it.
Have any of the dragons come to talk to you? Seems weird you'd be standing on, like, a place that they really think is important, but they
They do
didn't
not
know that
come
there
here.
was whatever this is.
They do not come here for fear of waking things that should not be woken.
Do they know about this? The thing that can kill everybody?
I do not know.
Kind of, like, looks around and throws a rock or something and is like, seems pretty lonely.
I chose this life, and hopefully when Macroll is vanquished, I will be free again.
You've never tried going in there yourself?
I cannot.
Like, you get to the edge of the hole and it hurts or something?
If I tried to place any part of myself through the opening, it would simply dissolve.
Sounds bad.
It does. But I am hopeful that you will have what it takes.
You have been here for centuries waiting for a bunch of people to come along to try and kill this McGraw.
I have. It is a challenge that not many who have ever lived could rise to.
Has anyone tried before?
No. Not since he has been here.
Thinking back in the most inaccurate, roughest way, because good memory is terrible. How long since the Battle of Gormanthan?
It was pre-Galerian calendar, so it's before time was being dates were being measured as they are currently. Probably like maybe 1,000 years ish.
Okay. You have waited a really long time.
It is worth it. Because while I have been here protecting this place, civilizations have risen, fallen, lives have been lived. Things that would not be possible were I not defending it. He sort of holds himself a bit higher.
I don't know. I wish someone had told us this before. We could have come like several months earlier.
We probably would not have been strong enough to face it, Makud.
We have defeated many things.
I hope McCrawl will be one more thing.
Looks confident. As equally puffed out as
For sure.
Devonian is.
I think we'll call an end to our rest there. Unless anyone has anything else they'd like to do during. Eli is just sort of fussing over Mina because she got swallowed and being a big nerd about it. Making sure she's taking her vitamins and stuff. Madara's sort of bone weary from her savagering earlier, and so is just sort of passed out for most of it.
Here's a question of tactics. Who can afford to concentrate on a spell right now? For the sake of, because I have 2 tokens of haste and 1 tokens of Tensor's transformation. So I could give a haste to Bryn, and I would give a haste to Makud, but he can't concentrate while he rages. So could somebody who's not likely to take damage concentrate on it for him?
I suppose I could, but I was planning on possibly doing other things.
Yeah. Well, that would be probably a better use of your energy. Not the haste. Whatever you were going to do is probably smarter.
Yeah.
But if Eli is going to be standing back and Eldritch Blasting or something, I don't know.
Yeah, Eli
he's
can
got his-
certainly take it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Eli can certainly take it. Eli can certainly take it.
If he's going to make use of it.
Crown of Stars is not concentration. Eli
Yeah.
can certainly take it.
Exactly. So I'll give 1. Does Bryn still have a haste token? Does she?
Yes.
Oh, you still have one. Okay, great. So I'll give 1 to Eli. And in that case, I could give 1 to Madar too. I mean, fucking hasty monk's pretty good.
Oof, yeah.
So I'll give 1 to Eli, 1 to Madar. And then I have 6 shields. I'll give
what
1
was
to
the token you gave Eli?
haste.
Haste.
Specifically for him to use on Makud if he so desires. But I'll also give each of them a shield token. And does Bryn need any shield tokens?
I don't think she has one.
Okay. And yeah, that's it.
Is Madar getting a shield as well?
Yes, each of them is getting haste and shield.
Haste and shield, okay.
Is that everybody's getting a shield token, or just a few people?
Oh, I was just giving them to Madar and Eli, but anybody,
Cool.
I have a few extra ones if you want one.
I still have 2, and then I still have a 6th level Dispel Magic, so I'm good.
I also have some absorb elements that I could give out. You want absorb
I'm
element?
okay.
Okay.
I'm okay. I have a shield token already. I've had it for ages.
Okay.
Be good. Thanks for the nifty sword, Rob.
No worries, Brosephine. So, we'll sort of skip ahead through all the, boring stuff. You guys step forward into Gormanthan's heart. Immediately, like descending below the surface of the island, you find like strong smell of the sea, salt crystals like hanging on all the rocky walls, and you kind of descend further and further into the dark, sort of claustrophobic cavern within. Suddenly, up ahead, there is this flash of light.
Can I pause you 1 sec?
Yes.
I would have also given True Seeing to whoever wants one, and I would use True Seeing on myself.
Okay. This flash of light is an illusion.
Okay.
And it appears and flashes in front of you, and you hear all around you this sort of roaring, crashing sound that begins to sort of solidify almost into the sounds of roars and shouts. It's the sound of a battle, like kind of far away, and you hear this loud roar behind you, and you turn and see like where the cavern opening is behind you. You see a giant green dragon's head like thrust down into the cavern, like this long kind of pointed frilled nostrils, and you guys kind of step aside out of instinct, and it like smashes past you, attempting to like reach deeper within the heart, and then you hear this voice ring out, like just as the head kind of descends deeper. We must protect it. If it remains protected, there is always hope. And you see like leaping from kind of materializing out of nothingness is this gigantic minotaur, same size as Makud, a huge hammer clutched in its hand. It's about the size of Igmuti's maul, but it's made of sandstone. And as it swings, the salt on the walls, like around him, appears to form into these two like identical spirits, and these three kind of minotaur figures like attack in perfect harmony, like smashing and battering the head of the dragon, which like pulls away out roaring, and the image just fades back to silence and nothingness.
That was not an illusion?
That was all an illusion.
Oh, okay.
And I, having seen it, recognize Enthriss?
That was Enthriss, yeah. And from what you guys have described, the green dragon is probably Octothrek, who you got the details in the doggo lore stuff.
It holds up Igmuti's. That was Enthriss.
You bear a striking resemblance.
It seems this place remembers.
I'm not sure whether that was the memory of this place or a projection from the power of Macron.
Either way, we should push on.
Very well.
Try to protect whatever is down here. That's what he said. We've Nahasera never mentioned anything about the heart of Gormanthan or anything.
No, she's not been here since the battle.
Sure,
So
but it sounds like Enthriss was protecting something during the battle because the
Yeah.
Green Dragon was there.
that's correct.
So something important here, and
Yeah.
she's not mentioned it or didn't know about it. And
Or
maybe
could be
this.
illusion manipulating those figures to get us to react.
These illusions may be trying to lead us astray. We should be cautious. But yes, Bryn, forward.
You push deeper, and it sort of levels out into this large cavern. And ahead of you, you see this gigantic stone anvil. It's almost like it's kind of formed out of the ground. It appears like mostly natural, and it's sort of sticking out in the middle of like nowhere. There's nothing else around it. No other parts of a forge. Just this anvil. And there's like a rush as another image begins to form. You hear echoing screams of Enthriss, like shouting again, "Endilerok, no!" And you watch as this like bronze dragon comes into view in the cavern and is just like ripped apart by these giant black draconic jaws that are like dripping with this like black bile acidic liquid. Durasterix, it must be the king of the chromatic dragons, who crawls deeper into the cavern, and you watch as Enthriss like runs towards this dragon, and like ducks beneath it, and like brings his hammer up to the joint where Durasterix's wing like comes into contact with his back, and just like smashes it and smashes it and smashes it until finally like he's able to rip off this wing completely, where Durasterix is like stuck and sort of unable to move properly in the cavern. Enthriss pulls off its wing, and then the vision fades.
Brynhild, do you sense any thoughts in this place? Any thinking beings?
Hello?
What?
I asked if Bryn, if there's any thinking beings here.
I mean, I can cast Detect Thoughts if you would like, or I could just.
Just a suggestion. You don't have to.
Yeah, I'll cast Detect Thoughts.
What's the range on that?
It's 30 feet.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're not getting anything currently. Bless
But
you.
is somewhat enthralled by the acts of Enthriss, and I guess it seems pretty final. Like a lot of what's going on here, the aggravation and the shouting and the death.
Yeah. And like in the image, this image, like Enthriss is like bloody and battered, but he's still fighting. And as you move through into the next room, this one, the largest yet, like this huge open echoing cavern.
I don't know that
Jesus Christ, that scared me. You see, I need to stop using the E word in descriptions. You see Enthriss again, very tired looking, beaten down, but still battling. This cyan-coloured dragon, this long, thin body floating in the air. A Shao Kun dragon for sure. But as you watch, Makud, your heart like wrenches and fury builds as behind Enthriss you see this grinning green dragon appear. Small and weak, but full of trickery. And it swoops low beside Enthriss, and Enthriss hasn't noticed it yet. still focused entirely on the cyan dragon. And you maybe shout out at Enthriss to be careful, but he can't hear you. And you watch as the green dragon's tail pierces the back of Enthriss and erupts from his front and lifts slowly into the air and then drops. And the image fades. Or, sorry, I missed a bit. You see from above the cyan dragon is suddenly torn apart as the draconic form of Nahasira appears and bites down on its neck and pulls off its head. And the green dragon is frozen solid by a small silver dragon. Though whether or not it survives remains to be seen. As everything falls silent, you see two skeletons in this room. One long, thin, the skull separate from the body, curling around the cavern. And in the center of the cavern, kneeling on the salt stone floor, you see a minotaur skeleton in a sort of peaceful pose, its head bowed. Enthriss is kneeling in the center of the cavern, still guarding the large stone door behind him.
These are all real?
The two skeletons are, yeah.
Makut is seething, and he's gonna advance. He'll like kick his way through any of the dragon bones or something.
As Makut is going in this direction, not wanting to stop him, can I just really quick do an investigation of the room, see if there's any threats to him as he moves forward?
Sure.
It's a 26.
26, the room is clear of.
Okay. Then I say nothing and let him go about his business.
He's gonna, as he gets sort of close, there's like a thunk and a thunk as he drops the two hammers, and he's gonna kneel in front of the kneeling minotaur skeleton. And he's just kind of just shy of touching it in case he like ruins the vigil. He's basically gonna like move his head to Enthriss's head, forehead to forehead kind of thing.
Abrashmina will come up behind Makut and lay a hand on his shoulder. And just say, you know that he did not truly fall here. He lives on in that misty place. And when you fight, there is nothing to be sad about.
He snorts and goes, I don't know if that green dragon isn't dead yet.
Do we know what happened to the green dragon based on Nahasira's story?
You saw it it froze, and then
His bones on here.
its bones aren't here though. Yeah.
We'll find what happened.
He and he's not looking at you. He's still like closed-eyed in his vigil, and he's like, if it isn't dead yet, I am going to be what happened.
She'll just give his shoulder a squeeze.
He's gonna like intone some sort of Mardu prayer to the ancestors, and say something along the lines of, Mardu, I recognize your vigil. It is not over yet, but I will end it, and then you can rest.
You see standing behind his skeleton, Makuji, see a flash of Enthriss's ghostly form, and he just kind of stares down into your eyes and nods. And then, like, you see him like look to the side, and he disappears. And beside Enthriss' skeleton, you see his hammer.
3 hammers.
And that's where we'll end the session.